on fire. I'm a burning rose. I've been counting petals. Oh, I had my smile.
Hi everyone, my name is Emily Grace and this is my channel. Welcome to my channel if you're new, but if you're not new, thank you for the continued support on me and my family and my life. So pretty much I've been getting a lot of hate comments / hateful messages thrown my way. And it's a lot of critiques to do with my videos, like, oh, this is distracting, your videos are trash, you know, you comment on other people's videos too many times, you know, you chew gum, you chew with your mouth open, nobody wants to hear the shit talking, nobody wants to do this, nobody wants to do that. So, I'm a daily vlogger. I'm not going to stop filming. I think every video gets better and better. And as far as the being negative, that's right. They also said that I was negative. And I basically said back to them, I said, listen, my life isn't all sunshine and rainbow poops. So if you want to go, then go. Like, I'm not begging you to stay. I'm not creating a Patreon account so people can finance my stuff. Like, yes, I have a merch shop. Yes, I have a GoFundMe account for my dog. But do you think anybody's donated to that yet? You think anybody's bought any merch yet? Very rare. Very rare. Very. But it's fine. Like, I'm not going to force people to like me. I'm not going to force people to be invested in my life every day. If you don't like my videos, then fine. So I put out on Instagram the other day that, wait, I need to add one more video to this. Hold on. 16. Alright, so I put out on Instagram the other day how I wanted to kind of pre-film videos and I wanted to kind of have some videos that I could film and put up on private. So when my life gets busy, I could just have those as vlog uploads. Like, they'll still have the date and everything, so if you want to go back and watch a video from 2016, you know, you can do that. But, like, they'll just be sit-down videos like this. And sometimes people vlog this way, too, and I think it's great. Because, like, you know, you don't... Because, like, am I weird when I do this? But, like, I like to find, like, a sit-down video like somebody did. And I just like to put it on while I'm going to sleep and, you know, whatever. But, you know, it doesn't, just because I put it on going to sleep doesn't mean that I think it's the worst thing ever, you know what I mean? Whatever. So anyway, basically, I put out a thing on Instagram and asking for, like, video requests for, like, pre-filmable videos, either, like, questions or whatever. And my friend Cassidy was the bomb diggity. She gave me 16 ideas that she had for me. And so I'm going to get started. So basically, we're going to go with number 1, challenges of CP in school. So let's get right into this. So basically, I should say this. I am 20 years old. I'll be turning 21 in a couple of weeks. Probably by the time you see this, a couple of days. We'll see. Because today's March, what is today? Today's March 15th. My birthday is on April 10th. So, like, we're, 20-something days away? Which is really freaking scary. But, so let me just say this. A lot of people are like, oh, do you know what you're missing out on? Yes, absolutely. I wasn't one of the kids to run and jump on the playground. I wasn't one of the kids who easily could have been line leader. I wasn't one of the kids who could reach the book on the top bookshelf. I wasn't one of the kids, you know, who got straight A's all the time because I had learning disabilities. You know, I wasn't one of the kids who had a lot of friends. I wasn't one of the kids who, you know, just... I kind of stuck out like a sore thumb. That's what I'm going to say. But, hey, come here. Come here, Saul. Come here. Eat your breakfast. But at the end of the day, that was my reality for 18 years I went to school. And that was my reality, and it is what it is. Like, people have their own stories, but it wasn't like my friend Cassidy, who led a normal life for the first 12 years of her life, and then she got sick with Lyme disease, but then they had to fight for a diagnosis and whatever. I was six. I would think I was a year old by the time we got the CP diagnosis, and that's what it is. That was my reality. It was cookie cutter. It was right there. The doctor told my mom that I would never be like, one of those kids to run and jump, and I, probably wouldn't be the smartest knife in the drawer. And, that's okay. So, often people want to hear about elementary school, and, like, for me, that was when we did a lot of the, like, not early intervention, I would say, but, like, I had a lot of intensive therapy. I had my first surgery in elementary. Well, put it this way. The first surgery, I was, not that I wasn't alive, but I was alive enough to be, like, remember it. I remember the pain. I remember the hospital. And that surgery was my heel cord lengthening / tendon release, which is very common orthopedic surgery for people with CP / people with muscle disabilities to have. A lot of people have it when they're younger, and they have it again in their adulthood. I, knock on wood, have never had it. I've been threatened with it when I've gotten older, like 16, 17, 18. Like, if you don't do something with these ankles, you're going to be back on my operating table. Which, honestly, if I have to do that, it is what it is. Because, my life right now is not conducive to going to therapy once a week. And, it becomes like a chore. But at the same time, like here's the thing. I would rather go hang out with my friends on a Saturday afternoon and go get lunch than do some exercises, which I know is stupid, and I know it's always like, oh, take care of your health, but at the same time, like, I need to be a 20-something, and I need to go do what I need to do. And, like, honestly, people have surgery every day. I've been through this surgery before. It's not like it's as major as my baclofen pump surgery was, where they're, like, snaking something through my spinal cord. They're literally just cut, pull, sew back up, cast for 2 or 3 weeks, and you're done. Which, honestly, like, the recovery might be a little more challenging because I am older and I'm not young anymore, and I wouldn't bounce back nearly as fast. But hey, that's a risk I'm willing to take. I age out of the children's hospital when I turn 21, but the good news is that my doctor, my orthopedic, has her own, like, sports medicine, like, shoulder, gait lab, gait analysis kind of satellite office, which is actually closer to my house than the hospital is. I've seen her more times there than I have the hospital. So she basically said that I don't kick my patients out. We just see you at a different location, and I have privileges to do surgeries at different hospitals, because actually that's something I learned. Like, doctors, have to have privileges to do surgery at this hospital, and, if they want to go here, you need to have paperwork and all this baloney. So, I could just, like, if she gives me a recommendation, but she says, oh, I can't do the surgery because, like, I'm not qualified to do it, or what, like, I'm a kid doctor, I'm stabbing slime, by the way. I'm not, like, stabbing anything bad. Slime. But, like, if she says, oh, I'm a kid doctor or whatever, like, I'll get you, like, a other doctor that you could see. And I'm just like, that's fine. So balancing that during school was quite hard. Like, I'm just gonna talk about like my surgery in elementary school was in first grade. It was in November, because I had missed Thanksgiving dinner with my family, or I had just gotten out that day, so I didn't go. No, I think I'd gotten out the day. No, I'm sorry. I got out the day after Thanksgiving because we were watching the Thanksgiving Day parade, and for lunch that day they had, like, the turkey, the stuffing, whatever. So, which I think I ended up ordering chicken tenders because I don't eat turkey and stuffing like that. But we'll see. I don't know. I think my mom ate the dinner that they made. So, which, I mean, that sucks to spend holidays in the hospital, but everybody's got to do it. And, like, my mom wanted it to where, like, I had a couple days off so I could recover. Because then I had to go back to school with, like, this fancy contraption thing that my dad built, which me and my dad don't really get along, but I will give him credit. Like, he will MacGyver anything that he needs to do, with the help of my mom, of course, because my mom's the brains behind the operation, but my dad's more of like the handyman. Like, he will MacGyver anything that I need for like my chairs and stuff. Like, he takes my chairs to be well, now we have a compressor because we're smarter in the game, but before we had to take my chairs to the gas station to get them, pumped up with air and stuff. And, that's fine. Like, that's obviously something that you have to do because, like, for school, like, you need to be safe on the bus. So my surgery was November, and then I had to go back with, like, this little, I don't think I have pictures of it, but it was, like, this little wooden board, and we put, like, towels on top of it with, like, a staple gun, and I had to have my feet out straight because my feet were in casts, and they couldn't bend, and I had to sit sideways at lunch, and my aide had to feed me lunch because I couldn't, get close enough to the table without spilling on myself. We had to get me, like, one of those bib kind of things, or, like, a poncho thing, whatever. It was a mess. I remember the day I went back to school after surgery. It was raining, and my mom's umbrella actually went inside out, and then my teacher was like, "Oh no, come dry your stuff on my radiator." So I remember I had socks and little cast booties on her radiator, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I went into school like an hour early, and and they let me leave early, and they let me go down and get Tylenol and stuff and whatever, and I actually had a lot of incontinence issues in school, in elementary school, like throughout the years, and middle school, and even some high school. So what I always did was like every year or so, every couple of months, I'd get like a bag of clothes, and I'd bring them to the nurse, and I'd just say, if I have an accident, here's underwear, here's pads for period time, here's, this, here's that, here's a skirt, here's pants, here's shorts, So it is what it is. I do have to say that the IEP was very helpful because if, they had to give me the accommodation of my own desk that my chair could fit under. They had to give me a footstool in the bathroom. They had to put bars in the bathroom. Now, I'm not saying there wasn't times that they followed the IEP throughout school, but for the most part, it was pretty nice to have. And, as I got older, I had more of an input in what was in my IEP and, what my goals were, because, you had to have goals that you were working on throughout the year because they think you're a hot mess and, whatever. Like, everybody's goal every year, make Emily make more friends, make Emily make more friends. And I was talking about this with my mom the other day, and I said, it doesn't matter. Mr. Gilardi was one of my social workers in school. I had many. I had Mrs. Grant, Miss Marnie Colella, I had tons of them because disabled does not make for a very, whatever. So, at least in high school and middle school, I felt as if, how, if you ever had social worker, sometimes you had, a group lunch, once a month, or, you'd get pulled out of class to come talk to other kids. Their clientele that they dealt with was more the behavior kids, ADHD and stuff like that. And then, so they'd put me in a group, I'm not saying all of them, some of them are very nice, some of them are still my friends today, but, they'd put me in these group lunches with these girls, sometimes they would order us pizza, McDonald's, whatever, something cheap like that can be delivered, and or go picked up or whatever. So, they'd put me in these groups, and then I'd be like, oh, well, I'm stressed out about homework because I need to get it done, and then here was, Sally Joe or whatever. She was like, oh, fuck this, I'm gonna run away, and I'm on probation, I have an ankle monitor, and I'm just like, no, this is not cool. And, sometimes they would even tell me, oh, we put you with this one because we want you to influence them. How could I influence them? We have completely different lives, we have completely different whatever. So I would say the hardest thing about navigating life with CP was, having to take off school for, doctor's appointments, and then in the later years, being so done with school therapy that, you would get pulled out of class, and I'm and you know what sucked? It was never, in English, for all of my high school years. I took Italian for 2.5 years, so for 2.5 years in high school, it was always my Italian class that I got pulled. Always. I'm really? It's not English or something that I can easily make up because, if you have an exam and you ask the teacher, oh, what is that question? She's going to say, well, evide something like quanto la bobadel, la bobadel, la la la. Like, she's going to say that. Like, my resource teacher or the teacher that I go get help, like, study hall-ish kind of thing from, and, like, I go take my test because I get extended time or whatever, like, they're not going to know what that shit says. So I'd have to go back down the hallway to the Italian teacher. We'd have to, like, luckily she was a very understanding lady and she got it and whatever. But I was like, man, this is bullshit. So I didn't take Italian my 3rd or 4th year of high school because I'm just like, yo, I can't even do English. Why am I trying to do Italian? You know what I mean? But when that second, because they usually do IEP meetings to write the next one for the next year around your birthday. So mine always happened to be like after spring break or before spring break, like right when school was ending, which was really nice because we could see like the progression of my year basically. Like some of my friends had birthdays in September and they're here writing the IEP and goals for next year. And I'm like, how can you do that? You can't even see what the kid did this year. So I was very, very lucky. So basically, like every year you had to do goals. And one of the goals always was make Emily make more friends and get her to walk more. Now, I put the kibosh on that when I turned like 7th grade. I fought them with that because at the time I didn't even know what the spoon theory was, but I wish I did because I would have pulled out that card because they're like, oh, you don't burn energy twice as fast. I'm like, fuck yeah, I do. So I fought them on that because I'm like, you want me to leave class 20 minutes early to make sure I get to the next class so the kids don't barrel me down, whatever. That would have been a good time to have a service talk, let me tell you. Like 7th grade to like get these kids the fuck out of my way. Like, oh God. And even in college, like people would be so disrespectful and they'd be on their phones or they'd have their nose in a book. And like they're walking down the hallway and I'm like, excuse me, do you not see me? And then they bump into me and they're like, oh, sorry. And I'm like, dude, like, how invisible do you... I mean, I know I'm, like, 2 feet tall, so I know I'm, like, on the ground, but open your eyes, man. No wonder why all these people get killed in, like, pedestrian accidents, because they're just stupid and they don't look at their... whatever. So, I had to balance, like, missing school for doctor's appointments. I had to balance, gym class and the accommodations with that. I didn't take that until my senior year of high school. Actually, I think it was because of Italian because I wanted to take all these other classes and like there wasn't time. But honestly, that is the one thing I regret doing. I regret not taking it at the time with my classmates because I think I would have enjoyed it more if I had, Sally Joe in my class and, Danny Smith or Danny Flores, Like I think I would have enjoyed it better with my peers because I felt super freaking old because they were talking about, what they're doing in health class. And I was like, I took health class last year. You know what I mean? Because that was the other thing. I didn't take health until my junior year. No, I didn't take health until first semester of my senior year. So a lot of the people that were in my gym class were in my health class too. But, I learned a lot about the younger kids. I had some friends. But I'm like, really, I can't make friends with people that are my age. I need to go to the younger crowd. But I don't know. It's very weird to me that like I get along with adults better than I do children. Is that weird? Like, is that really that weird? I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm just around adults all day. Like, that's what Selena Gomez said. Like, she has more friends who are like over 30 than her age of like 22, 23. She's 24, I think, 25. I don't know. But like, it's very weird because when I'll tell you the thing I hated. Back to the walking thing. Like I took that out of my goal. And then honestly, I think by my senior year, because I was doing gym every day, I told them to take therapy. Because I used to do school therapy, and up until about 6 months ago, I did private therapy too. When I went over and I did all the exercises, whatever. And like that was also very hard to navigate because there wasn't, like when you're younger, there's like more children who go to therapy and like they had a therapy room in my elementary school and stuff. But like middle school, high school, intermediate school, I was doing therapy in the hallway and my friends are like, what the fuck are you doing? Like stretching on the floor and like my butt was always whatever, and I'm just like, yeah, this is not good for whatever little image I have. But so back to the making friends thing, I felt like they were just putting, I was telling my mom this the other day, because we were talking about me having no friends, like, very few. And I told her, I said, I felt like they just were like putting people in front of me, and it was like matchmaker. I was like, oh, be friends with this one now, It wasn't like, here, Emily, this is a box of tools, box of knife, a box of pen, a bottle of water. Here are the tools to make a friend, It was not like that at all. And that's one of the, honestly, I spent years in social work's office and group and, whatever they called it, best buddies, best friends, whatever. Like, I spent years doing all that shit. And, like, what do I have to show for it? I'm a daily vlogger because I have very few friends. So, and when I say I have no friends, that's not what I mean. But, like, the friend I would call, Cassidy, lives 20 minutes from me. She has her own medical issues. Like, so we're supposed to meet up and stuff. And we're actually supposed to meet up and do YouTube videos together, which is going to be really fun. But, like, but we can't right now because we're both not really in good spots. Like, she just, if you watch her channel, which you should because I freaking love that girl, she talks about being in the hospital and being sick and whatever. So I'm not gonna, like, it makes me sad that we can't hang out now, but it's not, because I feel like we both need it, like we both need that girl time, that friend time, somebody else that understands. And, like, talking to her is so easy because it's like, whatever. And so that was pretty hard, like, whole navigating friends thing. Like, I never did the whole, like, football thing. The one year I tried out for a pep rally, there was a pep rally our senior year. The one year I was like, oh, I'm going to stay after school and I'm going to do pep rally, right? There was a fucking snowstorm the day before Thanksgiving and they fucking canceled the pep rally. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I was telling everybody I'm doing pep rally. Whatever. And then, like, I stayed for, like, Italian club one time because they were making pizza. And I wanted to stay, so I was like, I want to stay. And they couldn't get a bus, or they wouldn't get a bus to stay with me. And also, I wouldn't have an aide for that hour or whatever we stayed after school, which is stupid because anytime a child wants to do an activity, they're supposed to have help. And the aide is supposed to get paid, whatever. And my mom was like, I'll even, like, pay her myself. Like, I just don't want her having an accident. And, like, because I had a lot of incontinence issues, like, back in the day and stuff. I mean, I still do, clearly, but, like, back in the day it was, like, ridiculous. Like, when I would laugh, like, super hard pee would come out just, like, everywhere. Like, whatever. I mean, I am going to see a urologist, so clearly I still have some issues. But they were worse back in the day. Which, I'm laughing, I'm fine. I should be able to have fun, I should be able to have somebody with me. But, and then I had to stay, like, an extra hour, and I had to help my teacher clean up because my mom had to come get me because there was no bus home, which is really stupid because I'm like, are you kidding me? In, like, all of my years, like, this is the only thing I wanted to do, and, like, I couldn't even do it. And, like, same with, like, pep rally too. So, like, anytime I built up the courage to do something, I felt like it either was worse because of my disability, like with the bus thing, and, like, or it got canceled or whatever. So, like, everybody's like, oh, try this, try that. I'm like, no, I don't want to because every time I do something, I get it gets canceled. I tried to get on yearbook staff. The teacher had a personal hatred of me, and I didn't get in. And I'm like, what the fuck? I've been waiting 4 years to do this. I didn't get in, and I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna go be an office worker. So I was an office worker my senior year, and it was really fun. I learned, like, the workings of an office. So, oh my god, and then we won't even talk about the college thing because that's a whole nother video. But, and then everybody was like, oh, what are you doing after school? Because, like, honestly, in the special ed community or the special needs community, it's either stay till 21 in high school because of your IEP, or go to a job, or go to school. Like, there's no in between. Now, I could have probably stayed till I was 21 because of issues or, like, test scores or whatever, right? because we always had to do those tests, like with the psychologist to see how smart you are and stuff, like your IQ, I think they're called like triennial tests or something, like where you had to count backwards and you had to do a sequence of numbers. I killed that sequence of numbers test, and like you had to do you had to build this block and you had to see what pattern like it goes square cowboy something, and then it goes square cowboy bluefish, or something stupid like that. So based on those test scores, I probably could have stayed till I was 21. But why would I be held back from my class even more? Like, so what if I wasn't going to go to the UConn, University of Connecticut, or like Central Connecticut State University, or whatever? Because you're lucky that I was going to Naugatuck Valley Community College, or I still am, because like 7th grade, my thing was like, oh, I'll just stay home and I'll collect disability. That's a joke, honey. It's like $450. It doesn't even cover your bills. But, I thought it was the best thing since sliced bread, which it is. But, like, I really want to go get a job. And the thing about the job world is it's hard, because I don't want to sound rude, but I'm not so mentally disabled to where I have Down syndrome to where I would go get a job as a grocery bagger with Judy Smith working the register and I would be done. But it's like this slime. Like it's like mentally disabled and you have the grocery store bagger, or physically disabled and you have something else. But like for me, like I've learned I'm like right dab in the middle of this slime, because I'm like right in the middle because I can't physically bag groceries. I can't go into Dunkin' Donuts like my cousin and my friends and say, hey, give me a job. Like, I can't physically do that, you know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, I'm not mentally, I am mentally disabled, but I'm not mentally as disabled as like the young person with Down syndrome who's a grocery bagger. So it's very, very hard. Basically, they're like, oh, you can go to college. You can do it. Bitch, I had to take math class 3 times, so yeah, I can do it, whatever. Like, I feel like if they were more realistic with their expectations of me, they would see that, oh, let's get this girl some job training and let's get her to go to work. I feel like school and college and stuff like that is such a difficult thing for me that I feel like you have to balance the doctor's appointments and the missing class and the accommodations and whatever else, and it's like a lot. So it's very difficult. It doesn't mean that it's not done. I went to school from 3 to 18, and I'm here, 2 years of preschool. Hey! Because my mom thought I wasn't ready for kindergarten, and like they had an IEP meeting, because you can have IEPs in kindergarten, or preschool and kindergarten. As soon as you leave birth to 3, then you get an IEP, basically. So, I had a lot of early intervention. I had a lot of surgery. I had occupational therapy, not speech therapy. Actually, because they were going to evaluate me for speech therapy. And we were in a meeting one time, and my dad told me this. Maybe it's on video. I don't even know. I wanted his cell phone because I wanted to call Nani. I want to call Nani. And they're like, wow, she speaks really well. And, she could say a name in a different language, because Nani is Italian for grandmother. So, she's kind of bilingual. Well, not bilingual, but, she understands, And my mom's like, oh, yeah, this girl talks all day long. Puppy dog, fishy fish. I had fishes at the time, I think. Puppy dog. I had my puppy dog, Oliver. I said, puppy, puppy, puppy. And, he would bark, and, I'd say, my puppy knows I'm home from school, So I was good. I feel like I'm right in the middle. I'm too physically disabled to do certain things, but I'm also, mentally disabled to do certain things. I could never be cashier at Walmart. No, ma'am, nuh-uh. Because I'd rip off Judy Smith so bad. And not even, on purpose. I would just go and give her, 20, her total would be $10. And she'd give me $10.03. And I'd have to give her 3 cents. I'm just not good with the whole money thing. But I think it's good for people to, as they navigate school, whether it's college or high school, it's good for people to know their rights, number one, because you have rights. And, you have rights as a disabled person. Like, you can bring your service dog. You can leave early if you need to. You can have extended time for tests and stuff. And, a lot of people don't know that, so you need to educate them, which is difficult because who wants to walk around being like, oh, yeah, I need this, this, this. And when they say, no, you can't have that, and you pull out your paper and you say, yes, you can. And, like, same thing with the service dog. They're like, oh, no, that can't be in here. We don't allow dogs in here. You pull out the ADA card and you say, yes, it is. You know what I mean? But, education is truly important. And, there's no thing that says, hey, every disabled person needs to not go to college and they need to get a job. Every disabled person needs a job and can't go to college. I know people who are very disabled and who are very successful. My math teacher in 7th grade was actually paralyzed, and so she got paralyzed after her 21st birthday, I believe. I believe they were drunk, and I believe they dove into a pool, and she snapped her neck, and she was paralyzed and stuff. And, she had to go through recovery of that, and then she wound up to be a special ed teacher. So it's not like, oh, she can't do this, but it's just a matter of, like, how to navigate it. And I'm not going to say it's not hard, because just as my physical disabilities, and I had to, like, fight for accessibility and doors and stuff like that, like, my gym locker being accessible and whatever, I also had to fight a lot mentally. Like, I had very little friends in high school, and I didn't do the pep rally and the football game and the underage drinking and the, whatever else my peers did. But it's fine. My high school experience wasn't the best, but whose is, you know what I mean? And if you're saying yours was perfect, you're lying to yourself, because I feel like you do a lot of self-growth. Because I look back at my freshman year self, and I was very timid, and I was bullied, and I was trying so hard to be friends with people, and whatever, that, like, weren't even worth my time by my senior year. And I'm just like, why, kid, why did you think that was cool? And, like, even some of the hairstyles, woof, like, in the makeup and stuff, it's like, you grow a lot in high school. Like, you look at your freshman pictures versus your senior pictures, and you're like, damn, why did I think that outfit was cool? You know what I mean? But it's all about growth. It's all about journey. Your own journey is different. You'll be great in your own way, because God made you beautiful, or, like, whatever spirit you believe in, whatever you believe in. You're here for a reason, and you're going to make an impact on the world no matter what you do. And don't let anybody else define what you have to do. Don't let them say, oh, Sally Smith has to do this, because not every type of schooling, whether it's high school, college, elementary school, middle school, intermediate school, schooling is not for everyone. And everybody learns differently. Everybody has their own journey, but everybody's going to make an impact on the world in their own way. And that's a beautiful thing to watch. I can't wait to watch my friends and I shine and be, like, amazing bitches who are disabled, but we won't let it define us. And, yeah. As this slime will come back together with all the holes in it, you will find your way, I will find my way, and we will all be amazing human beings. And with that being said, thank you all for watching. I know this was very rambly, but I hope it kind of gave some insight on navigating high school or school with a disability, such as cerebral palsy. Bye, guys. I'll see you all next time.
It's okay to